The idea was simple: stop people getting scammed, but we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. In September 2018, I went to this event with Mike, and speakers like Gary Vee and Dan Priestley were on stage. We'd just sold our first business, and we'd never been to an event like this, and to be honest, we were just curious. But it was nothing like what we expected. I assumed we'd go and people would be on stage giving us advice. I mean, after all, we had paid to go. Instead, we watched hundreds of people sat in the crowd being ripped off.
I got a 10x business! I got 10x money!
It was full of these so-called motivational speakers who were using old-school manipulation tactics to sell courses for $1997. It became a bit of a running joke that, oh, I wonder if the next price will end in $1997 again. And it did. It was properly weird, but also a little bit funny. It was at that event we decided somebody needed to call out this bullshit. Unlike other people who sell a business and take up golf, we decided to become YouTubers in our mid-30s. We rented an office and then we started making videos, and honestly, they were terrible.
And the next entrepreneur to be drawn out and go through is JT Fox.
So we decided to hire a videographer and 2 editors, and I guess that was the start of our studio. The channel really took off when we released our video called The Entrepreneur Formula, and that was about us sneaking into events and filming what was going on.
I'm going to try and get Rob to get some long shots through the window and hopefully get some footage from inside the event.
Because we noticed at all of these events, they all followed the same scammy formula. They'd get the crowd to raise their hands to really obvious questions like,
who here wants to make more money?
They'd wheel out a really tired bullshit backstory.
I've been where you are now. I've sat in those chairs, working hard.
And they'd use urgency to get people to part with their money for these real scammy courses.
We only have 21 products left to sell today.
And after all that, we sat down with a psychologist and got her to review what was going on. And that was the video that really blew up. And the popularity of that video did 2 things. One, it opened up these crazy opportunities. So we got to meet really interesting people. Gary Vee invited us out to his New York offices to discuss making a documentary.
It's that they want to get rich quick.
And even Paramount Pictures wheeled up at our Warrington office to talk about making it into a global series. And you have to remember, we are not from TV. We are just 2 dads from the north who do the school run and take their kids to sports club. This was totally surreal. We ended up consulting on the Get Rich episode of the Explain series on Netflix, and we got interviewed by Time magazine.
A lot of people think only stupid people get scammed, yet it can be really persuasive when you're sat there.
Just mad. We kept making videos about how ridiculous these gurus were and the tactics they were using. One of them was where we created an Amazon blank book and got it trending on the business section of Amazon, this book here, and it is totally blank. There's nothing in it, as you can see. It was a lot of fun, but there is a downside to this. If you take the piss out of very rich, powerful people and stop them making money, they do not like it. We got legal threats, death threats, our wives' addresses and names were posted online. It was properly weird and a bit scary, to be honest. Thankfully, creators like CoffeeZilla, who we did a lot of content with back in the day, have kept the fight going. But for us, after years of showing people what not to do, we felt ready to show something more positive. That's when Graph Not Guru was born. Now our content focuses on what works, stuff we've learned in our own business and from investing. Or chats with people who've made it the right way, usually through hard work or graft. We turned those lessons into a newsletter, and that became one of the top 5 newsletters in the world on Substack. So we knew the lessons we were sharing were useful. And because we've gone from business background and flipped that to content creators, it means we've ended up with some pretty unique skills. And I think that's why we've now got the best studio team for business content. Because we know how to make stuff people actually want to watch, but we also understand business. So how to build a product, how to sell, how to hire, all the stuff you need to help your business grow. YouTube is still overlooked by a lot of businesses, but that is slowly changing. Just because you're a business doesn't mean you have to make boring content. Most businesses were created to solve a problem, just like we tried to stop people getting scammed. There's usually a great story, a smart founder, or a great team behind that business, and they just need help telling that story in a way that people would care. We did it for the get-rich-quick industry, but the same rules apply for any sector. Build content people want to watch, and you can dominate your sector too. As for the entrepreneurs, well, we're still keeping an eye on them. Because of our work, they've actually had to evolve, so it's a little bit more subtle now. So there's less 1997, and it's more about private communities, or engagement pods, or this everybody can be an entrepreneur type content. But who knows, we might dust off the formula and be back soon.